Joe Biden hasn't lost yet, but let's be clear. It's a travesty that it's even close, and Bernie Sanders would have won 100%. This is going to be a quick, unfiltered video, guys. Right now, we're watching election results come in, and it's not unequivocally awful news for Joe Biden. For example, he's picked up Arizona. You know, there are some potential pathways to victory still, but he's lost Florida according to most counts. He's not doing all that well in states like North Carolina and Georgia. And frankly, the chances of Donald Trump winning are much higher now than they were this time yesterday. And again, Trump has failed the American people, 250,000 American people, and we don't know how many by the time he wraps up his first term have passed away due to COVID-19, largely because of his failures, and the American people still appear willing to make him president under the Electoral College rules, or at least there's a chance. Biden has struggled with key parts of any potential Democratic coalition, including the Latino base that Bernie Sanders delivered and that Biden basically ignored and even said, weren't part of his path to victory. You can blame it on a lot of things. You could say, they classified Joe Biden as a socialist in Florida, and that's why the Democrats lost Florida. But let's be real. The whole reason we supposedly picked Biden was because he couldn't be branded as a socialist. And let's also be crystal clear. Joe Biden in Florida lost it, even though well over 60% of the people in that state are supporting an ordinance right now to raise the minimum wage to $15. A key part of Bernie's platform, and it was part of Joe Biden's platform as well. And what that shows is that whether it's with Latinos or union voters in Ohio, who according to exit polls are pro-Trump, it shows that Joe Biden and the Democratic Party failed to actually connect their policies and the issues that matter to working class people to the actual process of voting for them. And that's why there's a chance they could lose tonight. That's what's happening. They have policies in their book that they either ignored or de-emphasized. They have policies that Bernie offered that they spat on and that working class people want. And that's why this election is hanging perilously close to going to Donald Trump. We saw it earlier tonight. The Fox News exit polls asked a whole bunch of questions, and every single one on healthcare, on economics, on state intervention, on women's rights, every single one gave a huge margin to the left-leaning position, often the Bernie position. And still, the Democrats are at risk of blowing it. And you can't just blame the Electoral College, because Biden at most is going to get 53% of the vote, maybe not even that much. And many of these policies, like government-run healthcare, which could be a code word for single-payer universal healthcare, has 60-70% support, which would have to include at least some Republicans. Because there's no way Biden's going to win 70% nationally. It's absurd that it's this close. I never want people to listen to the argument again that Bernie could not have won. My contention is that Biden can still win. If you had to pry it out of me, I might still give him the edge over Trump as we go in to the final counts. But it should have never been this close. The Democrats should have never thrown away the best candidate with the best coalition just to, roll the dice on Joe Biden, who could barely get through a primary, let alone a general campaign. It should have never happened like this just because the Democrats would rather lose with Biden than win with Bernie. Remember this, because if Biden wins, even if it's by the skin of his teeth, they're going to want you to forget all of this. But you can't forget all of it. What this has shown is that whether Biden wins or loses, his idea of politics will not deliver consistent majorities, even though consistent majorities of people reject the politics of people like Donald Trump. They need to do better, and only Bernie or someone like Bernie will actually deliver that. Don't let people gaslight you into forgetting that.